Did you know that after 60, your colon quietly changes how it absorbs water, turning a minor bathroom delay into heavy, uncomfortable bloating by the afternoon? For millions of older adults, this silent shift means your digestive system is slowly losing its natural rhythm, trapping waste and creating a sluggish, stagnant environment inside your gut. You're constantly told to just eat more fiber. But what most people don't realize is that adding standard, dry roughage to a slow gut might actually be making your blockage worse. Relief doesn't have to rely on harsh, unpredictable laxatives. It actually comes down to 3 incredibly simple morning habits that work with your aging body, not against it. By applying them correctly, you could notice a gentle, predictable shift in your digestion in just a matter of days. And imagine leaving the bathroom with a true sense of complete emptiness, staying light, flat, and energized until bedtime. Today, we are ranking the top 3 morning habits to naturally wake up a stubborn gut. Make sure you stay for habit number 1. It involves a widely available natural plant, but if you prepare it the way most seniors do, you are secretly dehydrating your colon and locking that bloating in place. Let's fix your morning routine right now. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why your morning bathroom routine might be leaving you feeling heavy and sluggish by 3 p.m., and how you can gently guide your digestive system back to a predictable, comfortable rhythm. If you are over 60, you might have noticed a frustrating pattern. You wake up, go about your morning, but by the afternoon, your stomach feels tight, distended, and uncomfortably full. And you might even carry a lingering sense that your morning bathroom visit wasn't entirely complete. You are not alone, and this is not just in your head. Here is what may be happening inside your body. As we age, our digestive system goes through a subtle biological shift. The colon, the final stretch of your digestive tract, often becomes slightly more aggressive at extracting water from waste. While this is a normal part of aging, it means that stool can become significantly drier. At the same time, the natural muscle contractions that move things along, a process known as peristalsis, can begin to slow down and lose some of their youthful coordination. When you mention this to people, the most common advice you will hear is simply to drink more water and eat more fiber. While this is generally good nutritional advice, adding standard dry roughage to a slow-moving, dehydrated colon can sometimes backfire. It is a bit like adding dry leaves to a pipe that is already moving too slowly. It might actually contribute to that trapped, bloated feeling instead of relieving it. To support a healthy gut later in life, we need to look beyond just eating more salad. We need to focus on habits that specifically signal your digestive system to wake up and use targeted methods that hold moisture inside the digestive tract. That is why today, we are counting down the top 3 morning habits to support healthy, regular digestion after 60. We will start with a simple physical adjustment you can make tomorrow morning, move to a gentle internal trigger, and finally reveal the number 1 natural habit that physically changes the texture of your digestion. Let's start with habit number 3. Let's begin with habit number 3, adjusting your physical posture on the toilet. Most people believe that resolving bathroom issues is entirely about changing what you eat or drink. But before you add another supplement to your routine, you have to look at the physical mechanics of how your body actually releases waste. Deep inside your pelvis, there is a U-shaped muscle called the puborectalis muscle. It acts like a sling wrapped around your lower intestine. When you are standing or sitting in a chair, this muscle pulls tight, creating a natural bend, or a kink, in your colon. Think of it like a deliberate kink in a garden hose. And this is incredibly useful during the day to help your body maintain control. But when it is time to have a bowel movement, that kink needs to fully straighten out. The problem lies with the modern toilet. When you sit at a standard 90-degree angle with your feet flat on the floor, that muscle does not fully release. The hose stays partially kinked. As a result, your body has to push and strain to work around it. For an aging digestive system that is already losing some of its natural contracting power, This extra physical obstacle often leads to incomplete emptying. Whatever is left behind stays in your colon, fermenting and producing the gas that makes your stomach feel heavy and bloated by the afternoon. Anatomical studies suggest a very simple fix: simulating a squatting position. When you raise your feet just a few inches, lifting your knees slightly above your hips, that internal sling relaxes completely. The passage opens up, allowing waste to move through easily without unnecessary straining. You do not need to buy anything expensive to achieve this. A small, sturdy footstool or even a firm, flat box placed in front of your toilet is usually enough. Aim for a height of about 4 to 6 inches, just enough to gently elevate your knees. However, a quick warning is necessary, especially as we get older. If you have limited mobility, severe arthritis, or have had hip or knee replacements, do not force your body into an uncomfortable position. The goal is a gentle lift, not a deep, painful stretch. Always make sure the surface under your feet is wide, stable, and completely slip-resistant. Adjusting your posture is an excellent foundation because it removes the physical roadblock. But here is what most people don't realize. Clearing the path does not matter much if the system itself is still asleep. If your gut is slow to wake up in the morning, a better posture alone won't be enough. That brings us to habit number 2, a gentle, internal trigger that wakes your nervous system up immediately, and it might surprise you because it doesn't involve food at all. Adjusting your posture is a fantastic foundation because it removes the physical roadblock. But here is the issue. Clearing the path does not matter if the system itself is still fast asleep. If your gut has lost some of its youthful coordination, a better posture alone will not be enough to force a sluggish colon to do its job. That brings us to habit number 2, a gentle, internal trigger that wakes your nervous system up immediately. And in the best part? It doesn't involve food, expensive supplements, or harsh laxatives. Habit number 2 is simply sipping warm water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Here is what is happening behind the scenes. Your gut has its own built-in network of nerves, often called the enteric nervous system. It runs your digestive tract completely independently. However, after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, this system has been at rest. For a digestive tract that is already prone to slowing down with age, that overnight pause can stretch well into the morning, leaving you feeling heavy and stagnant. When warm liquid enters an empty stomach, it acts as a gentle alarm clock. It triggers a natural biological response called the gastrocolic reflex. Your stomach registers the warmth and sends a direct, immediate message down to your colon. It is time to wake up and start moving. Now you might be wondering, why not cold water? While a cold glass of water can trigger a mild version of this reflex, clinical patterns suggest that warm water does it more reliably and much more gently for older adults. Cold water can sometimes cause the stomach to temporarily tighten, whereas warmth promotes relaxation and supports steady blood flow to the digestive organs. The method matters here. Pour 1 cup, roughly 8 ounces, of warm, but not scalding, water. Do not gulp it down all at once. Sip it slowly over 5 to 10 minutes right after you wake up. Then give your body 15 to 20 minutes before you eat your morning meal. That brief window is when the signal to your colon is the most active. But here's what most people don't realize. Opening the physical passage with posture and waking up the nervous system with warm water are crucial first steps. But if you are someone who struggles with stubborn, chronic constipation, or if you consistently feel like you haven't fully emptied, these 2 steps still won't completely solve the problem. Why? Because if the waste sitting in your colon has been completely drained of moisture and turned into a hard, dry mass, no amount of proper posture or nervous system signaling is going to move it comfortably. You have to fundamentally change the texture of the waste itself before your body tries to move it. And that brings us to our number 1 morning habit. This is where most standard advice about just eating more fiber misses the mark entirely. In fact, if you get this next habit wrong, you might actually be locking your bloating in place. C. Opening the physical passage with posture and waking up the nervous system with warm water are crucial first steps. But if you are someone who struggles with stubborn chronic constipation, or if you consistently feel like you haven't fully emptied, these two steps still won't completely solve the problem. Why? Because if the waste sitting in your colon has been completely drained of moisture and turned into a hard, dry mass, no amount of proper posture or nervous system signaling is going to move it comfortably. You have to fundamentally change the texture of the waste itself before your body tries to move it. And that brings us to our number one morning habit. This is where most standard advice about just eating more fiber misses the mark entirely. In fact, if you get this next habit wrong, you might actually be locking your bloating in place. Habit number one is using psyllium husk, but it has to be prepared in a very specific way. Most of the extra fiber people add to their diet when they feel backed up works by adding roughage, dry bulk. Think of things like bran cereal or raw vegetables. This can work wonderfully when your digestive system is young, hydrated, and running efficiently. But for an aging colon that is already struggling and moving slowly, adding more dry bulk is like adding dry dirt to a pipe that is already jammed. It just adds to the blockage. Psyllium husk works completely differently, and understanding this biological mechanism is the key to finally getting relief. When psyllium touches water, it does not stay dry. It immediately turns into a thick, slippery gel. As it moves through your digestive tract, this gel wraps around your stool and locks the moisture inside. Remember how we discussed that a colon over 60 tends to aggressively pull water out of waste, leaving it dry and hard? Psyllium actively fights back against that process. Because the stool stays soft, smooth, and lubricated, your colon barely has to work to push it along. Soft stool moves easily. Hard, dry stool doesn't. It is that simple. Clinical research consistently highlights psyllium as one of the most reliable dietary fibers for adults dealing with chronic constipation. Studies show it can significantly support softer stool, promote more complete bowel movements, and help reduce straining. And unlike some other fibers, it is less likely to ferment rapidly and cause excess gas. But the method of how you take it matters just as much as the fiber itself. Here is the exact protocol. Start with just 1 level teaspoon, roughly 5 grams, of plain psyllium husk powder. Stir it into a full 8-ounce glass of room temperature water. Now, here is the secret. Drink it right away. Do not let it sit on the counter, or it will turn into a thick sludge in the glass. Drink it quickly before it thickens, and then immediately follow it with another 4 to 8 ounces of plain water. You only need to do this once a day to start, preferably in the morning after your warm water. It is incredibly inexpensive, widely available at almost any grocery store or pharmacy, and has a very mild, neutral taste. We rate this a solid 9.5 out of 10 for senior digestive support because it addresses the root cause of dry stool without relying on harsh chemical stimulants. However, as powerful as this gel-forming process is, there is a serious catch. If you use this natural tool incorrectly, you can accidentally create a severe blockage in your gut. Let's talk about the exact mistakes you must avoid and the warning signs you can't ignore. However, as powerful as this gel-forming process is, there is a serious catch. If you use this natural tool incorrectly, you can accidentally create a severe blockage in your gut. Let's talk about the exact mistakes you must avoid and the warning signs you cannot ignore. First and most importantly, hydration. Psyllium husk acts like a highly absorbent sponge. If you take it with only a few sips of water, or if you do not stay hydrated throughout the rest of your day, the psyllium will still try to form a gel, but without enough liquid, it turns into a dense, dry, cement-like clump inside your colon. And this is exactly what you do not want, as it can make your blockage significantly worse. Always take it with a full glass of water and drink another full glass immediately after. The second common mistake is buying the wrong product. Many commercial fiber powders sold in drugstores are packed with artificial flavors, heavy artificial sweeteners, and unnecessary food dyes. For an older adult dealing with digestive issues, these synthetic additives can actually irritate a sensitive gut, causing more gas, cramping, and bloating. Look for 100% pure psyllium husk powder with absolutely no added ingredients. Third, you must pay close attention to your medication schedule. Because psyllium forms a thick, binding gel, it can physically trap your prescription medications and prevent your body from absorbing them properly. A standard clinical recommendation is to take psyllium at least 2 hours before or 2 hours after any prescribed medications. Finally, do not fall into the trap of expecting overnight miracles. This is not a harsh, chemical laxative that forces your body to violently empty. You are gently and naturally changing the biological texture of your waste. If it doesn't work perfectly on day 1, do not immediately double the dose. More is not better. Consistency is better. Always remember that these habits are meant to support your everyday health, not to replace professional medical care. Never stop taking your prescribed medications or alter your medical treatments without talking to your doctor first. And crucially, you must listen to the severe warning signs your body gives you. And if you have chest pain, sudden weakness, trouble breathing, blood in your stool or urine, sudden vision loss, severe abdominal pain, confusion, or severe swelling, do not try to fix it with food or supplements. Seek medical help immediately. Now that you understand the biological mechanics and the crucial mistakes to avoid, let's put this into a simple, practical daily plan. You do not need to overhaul your entire life, buy expensive detox kits, or attempt a dozen different things at once. Building a responsive, healthy gut after 60 is about stacking small, correct habits. Here is your exact implementation plan. First, establish your foundation. Make habit number 1, the proper use of psyllium husk, your daily anchor if it is appropriate for your body. Remember, just 1 level teaspoon mixed immediately into a full 8-ounce glass of room-temperature water, followed instantly by another glass of plain water. Next, use your add-ons to accelerate the process safely. Combine your foundation with our second and third habits to create a complete, effortless morning routine. Start by adjusting your posture on the toilet with a small, stable footstool to physically open the pathway. Then, right after waking up, gently wake up your enteric nervous system by sipping a warm glass of water over 5 to 10 minutes. Finally, consider your rotation. You don't have to do everything every single day. Throughout the week, you can rotate in other gentle, gut-supporting habits. Habits. Taking a steady 20-minute walk, soaking a tablespoon of chia seeds in water, or adding a serving of plain yogurt with live cultures 3 to 4 times a week can provide extra, natural support for your microbiome and peristalsis. Pick one clear direction and stay consistent. You cannot do this for 3 days and expect permanent results. This is a daily habit. Your colon did not slow down overnight, and it will not perfectly recalibrate overnight either. Here is a realistic timeline of what you might experience. Within 24 to 48 hours. Some people may notice small comfort changes, perhaps a slight reduction in heavy afternoon bloating. Within 3 days, you may begin noticing patterns in your digestion, feeling a gentle, predictable shift in how your mornings start. Within 1 week, routine consistency becomes much easier to evaluate as your body adapts to the extra hydration and the soft, gel-forming fiber. Within 2 weeks, you may notice whether this specific habit stack is helping your digestion become more complete and reducing the need to strain. Within 30 days, you can look back Review your overall comfort and discuss any meaningful changes with your doctor if needed. If you take medication, especially multiple daily prescriptions, or if you have a chronic medical condition like diabetes or heart disease, always talk to your doctor before making changes to your routine or adding new supplements like psyllium. If you have been struggling with heavy, sluggish digestion for years, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is not broken. Your digestive system has not simply failed you. It has just naturally changed the way it operates over the decades, and your daily routine may just need a slight adjustment. Your colon is simply waiting for you to provide the right environment, the right physical posture, and the correct natural signals to get back to a comfortable rhythm. That is why I want to invite you to try a simple 30-day challenge. Tomorrow morning, before you change anything else, take a piece of paper and rate your morning digestion and your afternoon bloating on a scale from 1 to 10. Be honest about how heavy or uncomfortable you feel. Then, implement this new foundation. Start with a proper, elevated posture on the toilet to physically clear the path. Wake up your enteric nervous system with a slow cup of warm water. And, if it is appropriate for your body, introduce 1 level teaspoon of properly prepared psyllium husk to naturally retain moisture. Stay consistent for 30 days. Do not skip days. Compare your symptom scores on day 30 to day 1. You might be genuinely surprised by the quiet, comfortable rhythm your body is still completely capable of achieving. If you found this information helpful and want to keep learning how to protect your body as you age, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Leave a comment below telling us which of these 3 habits you are going to try first. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always talk to your doctor before changing your diet, supplements, medication, or health routine. Your daily comfort matters. Your energy matters. Your independence matters. Let's support your health one consistent, proper habit at a time. Your digestion does not have to be a daily source of frustration or discomfort. By understanding how your colon naturally changes with age and making these simple, targeted adjustments, you are taking proactive control of your daily comfort. Remember, true relief is not about forcing your body to work with harsh chemical laxatives. It is about providing the right physical environment, the correct nervous system signals, and the proper natural hydration to help it run smoothly again. Start your 30-day symptom journal tomorrow morning. Focus on proper posture, a warm glass of water, and, if it is right for your body, correctly prepared psyllium husk. If you found this information valuable and want to keep learning how to protect your health as you age, please hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below telling us which of these 3 habits you are going to try first, and share this video with a friend or family member who might need to hear this message. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Please consult your doctor before making any changes to your supplements, medications, or daily health routine. Take care of your body, stay consistent, and we will see you in the next video.